Here's a case you haven't seen on the channel before. Sarsilmaz. This is a brand that I've seen at SHOT Show twice now and been impressed with the guns they had and then wondered where the heck I find them in the US. Company by the name of TR Imports is bringing them in. We've got some to go over. Let's get started. So the case is lockable, slide locks, and has the holes right there to prevent it from opening. Pry proof. This is the ST9 that we'll be looking at. And of course, with anything this different, you need a manual, which it's got color photos, describes disassembly, etc. Everything you should expect. Here's the gun. We have two mags, one in the gun and one here separate. These are transparent. Let me load one up magically for you to show you. And here we are. I guess translucent is probably what I should have said. I'm sure one of you's already made a comment down there. Smoked, but just enough to see you've got rounds in there. How many? Well, this holds 17 rounds. Let's get back to the gun. On the case, we have a punch, an Allen wrench, and a tool. A bore mop, that's kind of nice, and our cleaning rod. Also, some back straps. I'll get the case out of the way and let's take a look at the gun. Alright, so first things first, of course, we'll show clear. This has a paddle release like the Walthers, which I love. It's on both sides. Let's see what kind of release we get. We definitely get an ejection. Excellent. And looking inside, we're clear. Alright, that is a beefy gun. Stats, by the way, all the specs and things linked down below. I don't like reading numbers. A little bit of play up front. For the tall slide, we do have front cotton serrations and plenty of rail space. Serrations on the front of the trigger guard for those who like to hold that way. A little bit of relief here. Actually nicely relieved. And texture. Relief for the thumb. Controls. Of course, I like to use the middle finger for these paddle releases. Slide release is easy enough. Safety is stiff. It's definitely stiff. It's going to take some break-in. That's alright. And on the back, if you look at the shape here, the back strap, we actually have a couple of options. I'll zoom in and see if we can get a view of what those might look like. So these are drive out the back style with a clip on top. See the existing one, if I line this up, this is going to be your flat back strap for those who like the 1911 feel. And that one looks like it sheds a little bit of the swell, maybe larger. Hard to tell. It's one of those things that you got to just try for yourself each time. Coming around the right side of the gun, big plus, we've got all three controls on both sides of the gun. Kind of handsome, isn't it? We have a striking indicator on the back side. Slide to frame is tight on the back. 3-dot sights. They are adjustable and with actual marks on there for knowing where it's adjusted, which is nice. Beefy gun. This is a fighting gun, folks. Let's disassemble, do our Fieldstrip, and take a look inside. So you may be looking at this different gun and wondering where the takedown levers are. Instead, it's got a contour to the frame. That's because it's got one of the push pin style. See those lines on the slide and the slide release? Gotta line those up and push on the pin on the other side. Then this comes out, we pull the trigger, and the slide comes off. Not too foreign. Guess how I figured that out? I read the manual. Here's our locking block. Nice and beefy long rails there. Yes, we have plastic rails in the back, but all the steel's right there. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. You can see how the trigger bar works. Take a look in our slide. We have a steel guide rod. Woo, that's snug. Interesting setup. So the locking piece is built into the guide rod, which is a dual spring, captured spring, and steel. Interesting. I like it when there's something different. Get our barrel out and take a look in the slide. 0 machining marks. Very cleanly made. That's because these are made in an ISO 9001 factory. And as I recall, Sarsilmaz is one of the only completely commercial factories. I might be wrong on that. You can quote me or not, or correct me down below. Looking at her barrel. Could use a bit of a polish on the ramp there, but maybe it's not necessary. Let's see how our chamber fit is. And as always, we'll be using our Nozzler match grade because we can trust their stuff to be precise. I know if this fits or doesn't fit, it's the barrel, not the bullet. There's our chamber fit. Fully supported. Doesn't quite sit as deep as others, but it's supported. What do you think of this gun? It's a full-size fighting style gun. It's got some heft to it. I want to say it was 29 ounces. You can check in the specs below to see if I'm correct. Yeah, this is how this locks in. That's a pretty neat design. I haven't seen that on any other handguns. Have any of you? Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. We'll get this out to the range as soon as we can and see what we can do with it. I'm going to have to figure out this reassembly. There we go. I guess I just wasn't pushing it far enough. Slide it back on. Pull back to about where those lined up in the first place. There we go. It's back together. Trigger pull, by the way. Single action only. We've got a little bit of freedom here as the safeties deactivate. Comes back to a wall. And breaks pretty clean. Reset is tactile and audible. Comes back to the wall. It's good for control. Once again, pointing to this being a fighting/duty gun. Click on the bell below so you know when our update comes on this. We'll get it out to the range. In the meantime, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you seen one of these? Do you know anyone that has one? I had only seen them at SHOT Show. You know, I just noticed too here is with this relief, and there's even a little bit of indentation there. We're stripping a stuck mag should that happen. These magazines, by the way, you might freak out, think that they're too different and we'll never be able to find them. They're available on TR Import's website for about 20 bucks, I think. Yeah, there's a ledge there. So you can strip that if need be. Obviously you don't with that kind of ejection, but in the case it ever got so grimy. Cool. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching GBGuns. If you've waited this long, you either appreciate what we're doing, or you're trying to formulate some type of argumentative comment and get the fight going. Either way, click the big griffin up here to subscribe and see our upcoming videos. Don't forget, by the way, to click on that little bell thing. That gives you a notification, lets you know when there's a new video. Down here is the link for our Patreon. Google revenues have cut. Those covered most of our ammo costs and expenses. If you subscribe to Patreon, you get a sneak peek at some of our videos before they go out to the general public. Those of you doing $10 or more a month do get one of our GBGuns patches. These are quite limited because this stuff's expensive. Up here is a video that Google suggests you'll like based on your watching history. I don't know if it's any good or not. You tell me. And then down here is the playlist most relevant to the video you just watched. Keep in mind, some of these videos fit in more than one playlist. I select one, that's what gets there. But anyways, that's the way the channel works, and thanks again for watching.